Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Serving Real. I'm your host, Don Cello, the Serving King. And today, like always, I got a very special episode. We're going to kind of take a shift, a little different approach today. I'm with Miss Vanessa Davis. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me. She is over business development at the Ritz Theater here in Jacksonville, Florida. If you've been here any length of time, then you've heard of the Ritz. We're going to get into the history of the Ritz, the purpose that the Ritz serve. Like I was telling you before we started recording, it's been a while since I've been back. I think I was a child the last time I've been to the Ritz, and I'm pretty sure many of you are interested in the backdrop, the backstory of the Ritz. So we're going to get into that. So how you doing, Miss Vanessa?
I'm doing great. You know, the weather is cooling down, so I'm enjoying myself.
Right. Well, wake up cold, now it's hot, and
Yeah.
then it's gonna be cold again tonight.
You know how it goes.
Right. So thank you for joining me again. The Ritz Theater.
Yes.
So for me, like I said, it's historical. If you're
Yes.
from Jacksonville, Florida, I think most of us, if you haven't drove past the Ritz, you've heard of the Ritz, you've seen it. But like I said, I think for a lot of us, it's been a while since we've been. Tell us the beginning, the starting story of the Ritz and how it even came about.
Sure. Well, first of all, the Ritz is in an area called La Villa. So before consolidation, La Villa was its own city.
Right.
And way before, in the 1800s, La Villa was a plantation. The Ritz Theater in particular was a part of, as La Villa grew, it was a more multicultural place. So the Ritz was a movie house owned by a Jewish guy. It wasn't always the theater that it is now.
Okay.
There used to be the Strand and the Richmond Hotel. The Strand, those were on Ashley Street where the La Villa High School is now.
Right.
So those used to be where people would kind of go out, have a good time out, dress up. But the Ritz, for whatever reason, stood the test of time.
Right.
If you were in Jacksonville in the 90s, Mayor Ed Austin did a lot of redevelopment in the La Villa area and kind of tore down a lot of the historical buildings. And so there were a few people in the community, notable Carol Alexander, who banded together to save that facade of the Ritz. So it is still, we can still have movies there, but now we house all domains of the arts. We can do recitals, dance, stage plays, we got concerts, we have the museum piece, which is a history museum and an art museum. So there's a lot of things going on there now.
It's funny you spoke to La Villa being like its own city. Especially for us African Americans, right? How it was like we don't hear. We always hear about Tulsa. We hear about all these other cities that had these black communities where black people had businesses that operated, but we don't hear a lot about that in Jacksonville. You know what I mean? We don't even, and me included, we don't even know the history that this city has, especially when it comes to African Americans.
I mean, especially around downtown, the city of Jacksonville. I mean, if you think of history in particular, any city at the mouth of a river is extremely important. The Mississippi River, that's extremely important. You talk about Egypt, you talk about the Nile. The mouth of the river is extremely important. So we are the mouth of the St. Johns River. So in history, just off of that, Jacksonville has had to be important. So La Villa used to be a really major part of the rail lines out east. East side was also really a major thoroughfare. It was its own kind of area, especially for people in the black community. So, I mean, there's a lot of hidden history around town. I mean, I can go into that. Maybe that's another time.
We'll get to that. So now you're over business development.
Yes.
First, tell me, what is business development?
In the respects of my job, I am over partnerships in the community, sponsorships in the community, marketing to the community, and ultimately making sure there are butts and seats. I'm making sure we are sold out for every event that we have, whether it's our event or we're helping someone host an event like a stage play or a recital.
Okay. Oh, so I could be maybe a play director or somebody, and I need a venue
Mm-hmm.
to have my play. That's one of the purposes that the Ritz serve.
Oh, definitely. We have a few plays coming up from local playwrights,
Okay.
but I would like to say, we're a step up from the church. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you're a starting playwright,
Right.
you may want to start someplace you're a little bit comfortable.
Right.
Okay, but when you're ready to have stage hands, when you need dressing rooms, when you need set changes, that's when you come to us and see what we got for you.
Right. Okay. So the Ritz is a whole set.
We have
a whole set.
everything.
Right.
Everything.
So talk to me about a time. I know that the Ritz was here. It was the pinnacle, right? People stayed in there. The seats stayed full to where we're at now. What happened? What brought this cause, right?
Sure. And I think I'm unique and I'm able to speak to this, and I'll share something with you later.
Okay.
Because I've been a part of this building since its inception, since I was 8 years old when the building was blessed by Bishop Desmond Tutu, and I was an usher there. I have a photo of that.
Okay.
I'll share that with you.
Okay.
So, I remember the days where people would just stop by the Ritz, and you can the seats stayed full. What happened? All right. Miss Carol Alexander was the fearless leader of the Ritz for ages.
Okay.
It was partly her love, blood, sweat, and tears to get the building up.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, she was ready to move on, and she still does contract work, and she still works with museums. The last I heard, she was in Liberia helping them set up a museum.
Okay.
And she's also a member of the Abraham Lincoln Lewis Museum up in American Beach, if you're familiar. It's another local museum. So she just happened to want to move on. At the same time, Mayor Alvin Brown. Remember Mayor Alvin Brown?
I remember Alvin Brown.
He did a lot of things for the city, good or bad, but part of what he did was consolidate all of the city's venues underneath a management company.
Okay. Right.
Now there's one management company for all of the venues. At that time, they were named SMG. I'm sure you guys, if you've gone out, you've seen SMG.
Right.
And they were over the Equestrian Center, the Arena, Times Union, the Ritz, what used to be Alltel, Everbank, now it's TIA, Bakefield.
Like Peninsula, used to be all kind of stuff.
Right, and and the fairgrounds.
Okay. Yep.
Well, the fairgrounds felt like they were mismanaged, and I guess some of the people who were working there found a way to get from underneath the SMG.
Okay.
Same as the Equestrian Center.
Okay.
So we are left with the Prime Osborne. Now it's TIA, Bankfield, and Daly's Place.
Yep.
You got it's no longer called the Times Union Performing Arts Center. It's just called the Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
By the land, what used to be the landing and what used to be the Omni Hotel.
Right,
a lot of things over there are changing.
Right. Okay.
You also got the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena.
Okay.
We also help manage the baseball grounds.
Okay.
And we are the only museum in their roster, the Ritz Theater Museum. ASM Global is a global company.
Okay.
They don't have any other museum. We are the only museum they have.
Wow.
And we are a Black History Museum, the largest Black History Museum in Northeast Florida.
Wow. Okay. So what was Mr. Brown's purpose? And is this one of the negative effects that is caused, or what was his purpose for putting the museum under, or all of the venues under one management company?
I cannot speak for Alvin Brown.
Okay.
But what I'm going to say is I believe there was some kind of cost effectiveness as these things are. And we're still a strong partner. We're still owned. The building is owned by the city of Jacksonville.
Okay.
So if the city wants to do an event there, or we partner with them for the jazz festival, things like that. But we are managed underneath something called ASM Global.
Okay.
And the negative effect that I have seen as a citizen of the community is that wasn't really explained to people. They kind of felt that the original person who put it on, Mrs. Alexander, was kicked out.
Okay.
And the man was
right.
brought in.
Right, gotcha.
Meanwhile, our staff is 95% black. Our director is the director of theater. It's another Jewish person, a Jewish woman. Her name is Stacy.
Right.
And she's the director of theaters for the Performing Arts Center and for the Ritz.
Okay.
But everyone else, Adonica Toller is still there. She's been there for 19 years. Sarita Franks is the event manager, receptionist. Everybody else is African American.
Right. All right. So talk to us. What do we got to do? What do we need to do to get the Ritz back to what it used to be, to what we would like to see, and get it back to where it could be that another staple.
Sure.
You know what I mean, in the community, because I think, like you say, we've lost that. And this generation, even mine, has no clue the impact that it had once before. So what do we got to do? Let's talk about it.
So several things. Another part of that transition from Carroll to SMG came with stagehands. So now we are a union house. So unfortunately, she was able to do a lot of things that we just can't afford to do. If we do anything on that stage, it's going to cost you.
But out of pocket. Expensive.
Right. Because you got to pay for the union stagehands' wages hourly.
Oh, okay.
That's why the price shoots up
right.
immediately. But once, if you are interested in putting on an event there, feel free to reach out to me or the event manager. If you reach out to me, I'm the person that helps make sure you're able to do it. Maybe it's a dream of yours, and you just don't have the funds.
Right.
Well, if you reach out to me, I'm the fundraiser.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I find you sponsorships or different ways for us to partner, as well as coming out to the events that we have. You guys can reach out to us and tell us events that you would like to see. Okay. We have our amateur night. That's a staple. That's been going on for the past 23 years. We're not doing it every month like we used to, but we have one coming up, and we just had one this November. We'll be having another one in February. That's a cash prize, okay? You could be a musician, comedian, a magician.
Okay,
come up there, do any kind of amateur. Come up there and juggle scarves, whatever you'd like to. And it's not just you come up there and you showcase. They coach you through. The lady who's putting it on also helped produce Showtime at the Apollo.
Oh, okay.
So it's that level of, you know what I'm saying? It's not just.
She's no rookie.
She's not a rookie, and she's going to help clue you into what you need to be successful. So that's amateur night. And also, you can walk away with a cash prize that night. I know because I'm the person handing out the cash.
Right. Okay.
We also have jazz coming up November 19th. Noel Friedline, he's a local jazz musician. We do it on stage. We have a little bar set up. Looks kind of like a speakeasy joint. You know, it's very, very nice. That's someplace that you guys can come and support. But besides that, like if you're an artist and you're interested in getting your art up, call me, let me know. You know, if you're a musician and you want to be, you want to perform on stage, we have something called Next Up. Which is for local musicians. If you have a small following, we put on a concert for you. Right. You can't beat that.
You can't. Right, we'll do the thing for you.
In the Ritz, you know what I'm saying? Right. So please reach out to me. We have a nonprofit arm. It's like more of an advisory nonprofit. So if you're interested in sitting on the board, there's positions there. We need you. We need the community. So what I could say to answer your question is, come through. How you could help, how you can understand what's going on. Come through. If you see me, say what's up, ask me what's up, send us emails. I'm on social. I started a TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do billboards. I'm over here. I'm over there. I was on the news this morning, so come through. We're doing Kids Free November. Kids can come in for free during the month of November. So I'm trying everything. But most importantly, just stop by. We're still there, State, Union, and Davis. Those 3 streets.
Well, to first tell people where they can reach out. Give them all your social medias, anything tied to the Ritz.
Sure. So the website is www.ritzjacksonville.com. We are at Ritz Jacks on Facebook and Instagram. We are Ritz Jacksonville on Twitter and TikTok. My name is Vanessa. I'm at Doing Talking. I'm always posting stuff for the Ritz. Our address is 829 North Davis Street, always and forever.
Yeah.
I be there. Our hours are usually 10 to 4 during the week, but on the weekends we either have events or we're hosting events. So if you see cars in the parking lot, feel free to stop by.
Right. So let me ask you: is there anything in particular though, like that you guys are shooting for? Maybe it's stage plays, maybe it's more amateur nights, maybe it's a business event, or you guys, or you open to anything. You don't really have a particular.
Yeah, I don't think there's a real particular thing we're looking for. We're able to house anything. Right. So like I said, if you are an artist and you want to rent out the exhibition space, you can. If you're not able to rent it out, you call me and I tell you how we can make sure your art gets in there, right? If it's a free day or not. Right. We have recitals that come through and kids come through and I mean all kinds of stuff. You can house a business meeting there. We're not really looking for any particular kind of engagement. We're just looking for engagement. So even if you have suggestions like, I'm not a big fan that our hours are 10 to 4 during the week. I don't think people can come out. But if you guys let the city of Jacksonville know that we should have hours that people can come out and enjoy, I'm sure something could happen there.
That's odd. Right. 10 to 4. No,
10 to 4.
The average person.
You can only go on a field trip.
Right.
You can only be on a field trip.
Right. Yeah.
So,
that's odd. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we go about as people? Like, how do we go about? You say reach out to the city of Jacksonville. How do we go about that? Who's the person that we send these letters or these messages to say, hey, we need to switch them?
Sure. So my degree is in political science, and I'm a frequenter of city council meetings and DIA meetings and things like that. So there's Downtown Investment Authority. Yep. That's an arm of the city council. They have meetings that are open to the public. They're board, and you can tell them to invest some money in La Villa. Right. You can also go to the city council meetings. Those are usually Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. I think every other Tuesday or so. And whenever there's public comment, you can let them know. You can speak specifically to our people. I think Sam Newby and Reggie Gaffney are over our area and tell them these things you like to see. The city of Jacksonville is behind us. Right. We haven't announced to the public yet, but they've put some money behind us to revamp our entire permanent collection in the museum, which has been up for 20 years. So the city is behind us. We just need to find different ways to show them. Even if you're just, messaging underneath the city of Jacksonville's, Twitter page. They do pay attention to those things. So any way that you have an in to let somebody know this is what you'd like to see, or it's too expensive to use the Ritz, let them know, because they said all of the things that we do. Right. I'm just out here being the messenger.
Right. Have you ever received any kind of pushback from the city or anybody when it comes to trying to put the Ritz back in that spotlight or get it back in that space that it used to be? Have you ever, especially politically, have you ever received, any kind of pushback? We can't do this because of this, or you know what I mean? Have you received any of that?
Not so much, like overtly. Okay. But it's more like, we just kind of get looked over because we are not TIA Bankfield.
Gotcha.
We are not the arena. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? We are a 400-seat theater in an odd area of downtown. What I do get from the community lately is they feel like it's unsafe because of the homeless problem that we have downtown. There's a lot of transient people that kind of hang out, congregate in the La Villa area, and there's just not too much I can do about that. But as for it's never overt. It's just that we maybe don't get top billing. I got you. But I don't think I'm here for that. I'm not looking to be the top. We're looking to serve the community. We want to be that stepping stone for somebody that are a new musician or early artist.
Use this as a platform to get to
to the next step. Maybe you're not ready to go to the Florida Theater and sell out 1,000 seats, but you can start at the Ritz and get your feet wet. And I think that's where we're perfectly positioned to be.
Okay.
Yeah, we're supposed to be hood famous. We're not trying to be super everywhere, you know what I mean? But we want to be for the neighborhood.
Right. And it's crazy you say, because you think about the Apollo and Def Comedy Jam, all those platforms before the people that we look up to now, they were there, and then they stepped to a different space.
That's what we want to be.
Absolutely. Oh man, well, you got anything else you want to share? Cause I'm learning now. You know, I'm learning more myself. So please.
Not at the moment. Just stop through. If you see me in the community, I do a lot of things.
Absolutely.
So if you see me, say what's up. I'll pass you my card. I'll give you information. I love to be a community connector.
Okay. Well, before you go, is there anything else in the community that you trying to get done right now? Is some stuff you want to keep under wraps right now?
No, not at the moment. Okay. If you're interested in being a part of that Next Up concert, we're also doing a summer jazz concert, gospel, jazz, R&B, and we'll have like local people singing the hits.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Performing
yeah. So,
okay.
And that'll be like an outdoor thing. So if you're interested in being a part of any of those things, hit me up. I am a writer for the Florida Star and for our Program Success Magazine, 2 Black-owned media companies here in Florida and in South Georgia. So if you have a story or anything like that, and you're interested in me covering that, hit me up at do_AND_talk. Do and talk, because I do things. I talk about them. Come through, hit me up, and I'll reach back out to you.
Oh man, well, thank you, Miss Vanessa.
Yeah, no worries.
I appreciate it, and I really hope you guys were able to learn something. I've learned something. You know, it's interesting how you could be somewhere for years, pass a building for years, maybe go in it a couple times and never know the magnitude. You know what I mean, or the effect that it had on the community. So I definitely thank you for coming through. Hopefully you can come back soon, and we'll be talking about buy this ticket soon, because they're selling out quick. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get to that point. And remember all the information if you got any requests, got any events you're looking to do, even if you have some questions, she's open to answer them. So thank you guys for tuning in, and like always, we'll be back next week.